Hi guys, Dan here. Finished my carrier, so I'll give y'all a quick look at it. Really enjoying watching all you other guys make your stuff. It's really looking good, but it's getting down to the wire here. I finished this yesterday, so there she is. Give it a little closer view of the water line go by, and there's the little better view of the flight deck. This trumpeter build, there wasn't a whole lot of detail to it, so I didn't try to go overboard with detail and stuff that had no detail on it to detail. The planes, for example, the basic shape was there. Everything else was pretty crude. Same with just about everything on here. So I pretty much just built it out of the box and didn't worry about adding anything extra. So what I concentrated on was just getting everything neat and sharp. I don't think a model that's or a model kit that's designed this way, where it looks basically almost like a toy rather than like a realistic model, I don't think it looks its best if it's got rust and all that kind of stuff on it, because really a lot of times doing that kind of detail, you can use it to hide your mistakes, or you can use it to bring out certain features or to add more realism. But this model was just so unrealistic to start with, so I just concentrated on making it nice and clean. You see the Tomcats on the back, and there's a couple helicopters and Hawkeyes and intruders, and there's the Hornets. Lost one of the Hornets, I don't know where, and I lost another intruder somewhere. As you know, I lost one of the engines from one of the Vikings, so it could have had 3 more aircraft, but I think it looks sufficiently crowded on that deck. See how the base turned out. I just did it like a seafoam blue. Painted the wooden supports. Just painted them brass. Nothing on here really shaded more than 2 colors. I didn't put the decals on the plane wings, because all they were just the US aircraft symbol, but they were bright blue. It didn't look right. It looked even more toyish than it already does, so I just left them off. 2 of the helicopters I did make the rotors folded back, so I cut them all up and folded them back, and everything else pretty basic. Problems, nothing I already hadn't mentioned. I broke off another antenna here, but just used a steel wire that I use for pikes and spears, the ones I used on my Viking to make my Viking spears, and it scaled up perfectly. This front one here I broke off another one, but I found the parts to it. Of course, I did find you always find the parts eventually, don't you? I found the parts to the front one too, but I'd already made the wire antenna by then. Broke off the mast a couple times, but who doesn't do that? You know, should have known better and just left it off until the end. But anyway, got it back on, so it looks alright. Didn't lose any of the parts. I made the tractors, I went and made them look like the crash and salvage crew, rather than just making them yellow, because I made the cranes yellow. So I made these look like crash and salvage guys. So I made a white one, which would be like the AFFF, and then a red one. What other problems did I have on this? I already told you about breaking the base in half, and about not having the screws. Decals on these Chinese kits, this trumpeter were horrible. Fixed that problem. You see they look fine now after I sprayed down the figure flat. And then the lines on the flight deck, I simplified a little bit. But there's a close up of the island and the cranes. So I guess for the final analysis of this build, for me, it's pretty easy. There's not a whole lot of detail on this thing. It was fun trying to figure out how to make the base and how to keep things simple, but at the same time making it an interesting model to look at. And I do think it is. It's certainly displayable. I wouldn't say it's museum quality, but you know, it would look nice on your hobby room shelf. Did manage to keep the cost down. All this paint here, you know, as mentioned before, is just a cheap hobby paint for the most part. The cheap craft store paint. I guess we're gonna. What's the day? The 14th. So 2 more days we'll be getting together and start talking about who we think won. It's a toughie because you know the intent of this build is to see how other people do things, and you know, mainly, and that's we certainly got that out of this. So many cool ideas. It was really interesting. I really enjoyed watching you guys build your stuff. So anyway, we'll get back to you before the end of the week, I'm sure, me and John, and we'll have a final build wrap up. And next, look forward to joining Pezapoo. How do Pezapoos biplane build? That's the next group build we're doing. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon. Bye.